It has been, this week marks 4 years since the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill happened. Spent a lot of time here during that time. Ultimately, 200 million gallons of oil spewed into the Gulf, Maria.
And BP recently said that the active cleanup is done.
Don't know what that means.
The Coast Guard has a very different view of things, and Dave Malkoff joins us now with more.
Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Sam and Marie. It's the active cleanup that's over. They're going to go out and kind of put out spot fires if some oil shows up. The case is with the animals and the plants very different, according to National Wildlife folks and the Coast Guard, so we went out there in a boat to take a look. I took a 2-hour boat ride with two other Davids, a charter boat captain and the director of the Mississippi Delta Restoration Program.
From here to Cat is probably like 15 miles.
On a ride like this, you have plenty of time to think about what happened 4 years ago this week.
The fire that's raged out of control.
An explosion that killed 11 roughnecks, an oil well that pumped into the sea for 87 days, and then that black tar that coated the Mississippi Delta.
You had anywhere from 25 to 30 feet of thick tar. Just to our north here is Bay Jimmy.
Today, there's no sign of that tar, but it's actually what we didn't see that was surprising.
By the way, we can pull it up on Google Maps. You could see this point, and then you'd know.
We took a GPS-tagged photo and quickly realized there should be huge islands here.
So you can actually walk right out on? Oh yeah, it's solid ground.
The marsh islands we saw were much smaller than the old map indicated.
So the parts that were heavily oiled right here, the islands have been deleted off the map.
Yep, those areas that were heavily oiled are gone.
There used to be a land bridge here, there used to be islands around here. Now they don't exist.
They don't exist. My gut instinct is that anything that was hit with black tar washed away much more rapidly than it would have otherwise.
Now, even before the oil spill, these tiny islands were beginning to disappear. How much did the oil have to do with that? That's up to the courts to decide. What is clear is how it's affecting marine life down the way.
Where we're heading used to be, as recently as last year, a pelican nesting area. Now, it looks like a graveyard.
It's sad and it's sickening to watch the loss of a place like this.
That part of the story, tomorrow.
People in New Orleans are so attached to their land, Dave. I stood right there where you were standing as that first line of oil washed ashore. How long do they think it'll take? How many years before it looks like it did before the spill?
Sam, it could be 50 years before they reach even an equilibrium point, and it could cost something like $25 billion to clean it up over the next 50 years. So this is a massive, massive effort that could go on for a century from now.
All right, Dave Malkoff, thank you. Most news organizations will not come back down and do the follow-up. We will follow up, and tomorrow we'll talk more about it as well, talking about the wildlife. Mike, it is time.